Well, welcome to Game Club. We just finished watching the Nintendo Switch reveal,
Mind
the international reveal.
Blown.
Yeah, really?
From boredom.
Oh, ouch. So here, this is how I want to start. I want to start with, before we get into specifics, just want like a very brief statement. What is your initial reaction? What's your initial impression?
Who cares? Chris, your initial reaction.
So we should clarify for anybody watching. James is actually the only one here who cares about Nintendo.
Well, I'm a console gamer, right? And I have owned every Nintendo console. Most of their handhelds, but not all of them,
are awful.
This guy over here, you've owned some Nintendo consoles at some time in your life.
N64 and Super NES.
Okay.
I stopped after that.
Yeah, we had a Famicom.
That was before I was alive.
That's the NES, for people who don't know. Go ahead, Chris. How about you? What's your impression?
I don't really care that much about most of the stuff they showed. You know, I played my Xbox, but I mean, the new Mario looked really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will
But I'm not
definitely
going to
play
spend
that.
$300 for a new Mario game, or for console just so I can play a Mario
Just
game.
torrent it so you can get it on the PC.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have an emulator out.
15 minutes after it's released. Anyway, keep going.
Okay, so all right, let's talk about specifics, because I do think, despite that, I think there are some really big pluses for it, especially if you're a Nintendo fan. First of all, $299.
Very reasonable.
That's a very reasonable
Yeah,
console
yeah.
price, especially for something that's going to have a screen on it. I mean, it is a somewhat powerful touchscreen device for $299. I think that's because when it comes down to it, like an iPad is usually what, $500 to $700, right? New.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, it's a good price considering what you're getting. I wonder if they're gonna sell it at a loss or not. I'm not sure if they've ever reported that.
I'll give them this. I really like that they're trying to do something different than your traditional console gaming systems, in that they're trying to really encourage togetherness, intentionality, genuine friendships. They're really trying to do what I think is a good attempt. I don't think it'll go over well, but I can appreciate the attempt on a principle level of trying to like encourage technology in real life together. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. On that point, the thing about my Wii U is I'm one of the few people I know who has one, but I'm also one of the few people who has couch co-op games, and it's because of my Wii U. Like, people are always like, "Man, there's no more couch co-op games. Where are all the couch co-op games?" I'm like, "Well, they're on the Wii U."
I don't know what that is.
It's when you can play on the same television with multiple controllers.
Literally couch co-op.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So they're on the Wii U, and that's what the Nintendo Switch seems to be pushing even further, which is playing games together in the same room. And I'd say that they even sort of got away with not really explaining much about their network service. Early on, they said there's an online service. They said it's going to use smart devices to do a lot of its connectivity, which I think is kind of lame. Most consoles have all of that baked in. You don't need some other device.
Right.
I mean, I like my phone, but I want my console to do what my console does. And it'll be free for a trial period, and then it's going to be a pay-for service that will make it like Sony and Microsoft. They didn't say what price it'll be annually, but it'll be a pay-for service in fall 2017, I should say.
No region locking is cool.
Yeah, that is sweet.
That is good.
That brings them up to Sony. I can't speak for the PlayStation itself, but for the handhelds, they're always region-free. Also, I mean, this isn't new information really, but the way it connects is when it's in the dock, it connects by HDMI to TV, which
Big fans of docking.
yeah. It comes in the box. They didn't explain this until later, but in the box, it has, of course, the system with 2 Joycon controllers. Those are those side controllers. One box will come with gray controllers. One box will come with what they're calling neon blue and red. It's not really neon, but it's like a bright blue and red. Also in the box will be those wrist strap connections, which I thought were actually pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm a fan of not having it fly through my TV.
Well, it's not just a wrist strap. It's a device that it docks into, and it has better L&R buttons connected to it.
Yeah, more prominent.
Yeah, more prominent L&R buttons. And I was a little bit confused about whether the controller on its own does that special object sensing, or if that was the wrist strap device doing it.
I think it was a controller.
It was the controller?
I think so.
And to explain what I mean by that is, so what we found out is not only does it have motion control, so you can swing it around and spin it and flip and all of that, but it actually has some kind of a camera system that can pick up motion, both distance from the controller and also shape.
Yep.
So
rock, paper, scissors.
Right, so it actually can see a hand, kind of like what some of the VR systems are trying to develop right now, but kind of based on the camera, and they didn't explain that a whole lot, but
Not
there's
really.
some interesting, and also the controllers have
HD
amiibo.
rumble. Oh yeah.
And they have the Yeah, we'll get into that in a
Yeah.
second. But they have amiibo attachments too. And so in the box, the Joy-Con controllers, the console, a dock, HDMI cable, AC adapter, and the wrist straps. Buy separate, a Pro controller, and 2 different boxes. $2.99.
It is smart of them to include an Xbox controller that you can buy.
It does look just like an Xbox controller. Okay.
Why mess with perfection?
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
And a big reveal, the battery life. So they say depending on the game you're playing, between 2.5 hours and 6.5
like an
hours.
awful idea. I don't know. That doesn't sound appealing to me.
That's a huge range, too.
Yeah, dude. It's and that's like
I would
idyllic
suspect 3
circumstances,
hours
right?
all the time.
It's probably like 1 hour to 78 minutes, depending on the game you're playing.
I don't know. I mean, I think with a device like this, you shouldn't expect. I mean, how
Too much.
much can a good tablet run a game for? Like how long?
Well, I mean, it depends on what tablet you're talking
You
about.
think the battery?
My iPhone battery's got, or my iPad battery's got 8 hours of life in it.
Yeah, but not if you're playing like a high-end 3D game.
And
That's what I mean. A high-end 3D game will zap that thing down to an hour.
But if I'm gonna play a high-end 3D game, I expect the battery life to be longer than 2.5 hours. That's the whole point of having something that can support a high-end 3D game. That's a stupid notion to me.
All right, well, we'll find out.
You think the
I
battery
guess.
will be removable?
Probably. Yeah.
Probably not. It'd probably be like an iPad. If the battery dies, you're just kind of...
You just got it screwed.
I mean, probably not easily, but probably. I would imagine you can get to it with just screws, right? I don't think.
Probably $150 for the new battery.
Probably that could be.
It'll last you for a solid 18 months.
They also confirmed the USB type will be C, so that's following in rank with Mac, right? Apple. They've been pushing the USB-C, so that looks like it might be the future of more, and many more devices are moving that way. Capacitive touchscreen. There was some question about whether it's a really touchscreen. They mentioned quickly that it was. Also, what I liked is it has the wireless local multiplayer.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
multiple switches.
Eight switches at once.
Can be connected to each other for a multiplayer game. I thought that was pretty neat, but of course you're gonna have to have friends who have a Switch.
Yeah.
If it's like
I
I don't even have 8 friends
You were
anymore.
just you should have just stopped at friends.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Oh.
have to have friends.
ouch. Let's see. Let's get into the controllers a bit more. We talked about the blue and the red color as an option. They seem to have all the buttons that a Wii U and Wii have. They have little hidden L&R buttons on the inside. So when you take them off the Switch, inside there where the rail is are some added buttons to do a little more.
Perfect if you have the hands of a 7-year-old.
Yeah, they do seem very, very small. They seem very small even when they're docked together.
You can just inhale it. You don't even have to try to chew on these controllers.
What do you do with your
I
controllers?
mean, whatever. I don't know.
Controllers?
Yeah.
They mentioned there's a capture/share button. They didn't name it, but that's what it does. It captures footage and you can share it.
On social media to your 8 friends who all have Switches, who were all there when you did the thing and that you were anyway.
Yeah, I thought now we won't really know what they mean until we get to use the darn thing, but they made a big deal out of the vibration function. That
HD Rumble.
Yeah, HD Rumble. That it not only does it just rumble, bzzz, but it can like reproduce sensations.
How
right?
many ice cubes you have in your imaginary
Ding,
cup?
ding, 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 ding. Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And you know when they're pouring water into your fake cup.
Just,
These are things I really want my console to do.
Who cares?
They really sold Josh Carmen tonight.
So dumb.
They showed off 2 games. Basically, every Nintendo console has always had the game that shows off its features. That was one of them.
If only this were being recorded for VR.
Games with googly arms. I can beat women.
We should explain that comment there, Josh.
Yeah. So there's these 2 games that are kind of being released to show off some of the functionality of the new functions. One of them, the one that you were alluding to, is called Arms, and it's explained as a boxy game where you're not just punching, but you're firing, right? And you can kind of put spin into it. And so it looked like the characters in the game looked like they had giant fists connected to slinkies, and they were firing their
We
fists
watched
and pulling them back.
Springman beat the crud out of Ribbon Girl.
Yeah, the trailer was awkward because he had this like complete buff adult man who was taking on a little girl, and then he beat her real bad right before they switched.
Viciously. to a bloody pulp.
Yeah, it was a little odd, but anyway. And then the other game they showed off that shows off functionality, it was called 1-2 Switch. I thought this one was a little more interesting. This is maybe the Wii Sports of this of the Nintendo Switch. It had many games, all of them though. This is the thing that's different. None of these games use the screen.
We're giving up on graphics.
Yeah, instead, the games all require you to look at somebody else, the other player, the opponent.
You look into their eye.
Into their eye.
Right into the depths of their eye.
One of the mini games they showed off prominently for this was basically a quick draw game. You're both, gunslinging at each other, and I guess it's whoever. I imagine
reaction time.
I'm sort of assuming this, but it sounds like probably the Switch will say go, and then you have to pull up real fast and shoot each other if you can.
You just get airsoft guns, and that's how we used to play that game.
But that takes like outdoors, Chris.
No, it doesn't.
We don't do outdoors.
Cheaper than $300 too.
Both of these games,
it does take safety glasses.
What the 1-2 Switch showed me, that game, was that Nintendo can make a market out of partying again. Like the original Wii. Everybody loved to show that off at a party
for like 6 months.
Yeah, and that 6 months sold them millions and millions and millions of Wiis.
If this is going to be successful in its first year, and then give them license to make another 4 awful systems before they make another good one again.
Yeah, but that's
the Nintendo pattern. Yeah, that's N64 was great. What should we do next? How about a cube, guys, with a handle on it?
But yeah, I mean, but seeing their vision of people coming together and playing games where you're not looking at a screen and ignoring each other, but you're playing together, you're looking at each other.
As Chris adequately put it, augmented reality without the augmented reality part.
Right, and it's it's bringing back that feel of almost like a board game or like a youth group party game. And I can see there being a lot of success in that. What it's going to result in, if it does get big, we're going to have a ton of shovelware trying to reproduce those ideas, and most of that shovelware will be trash. But the first few games will be pretty good, right? We'll see.
All right, let's get really into it.
The game's releasing?
Yeah.
All right, so they announced a new Splatoon game. It's a full-on Splatoon 2. Some people were thinking it was just going to be a re-release of the first Splatoon with a couple of added things, but they're calling it Splatoon 2, saying there's going to be all new maps, there's going to be all new weapons, there's going to be
all new strategies.
Yeah, all new strategies. There's going to be local wireless multiplayer. So again, if you have multiple Switches next to each other, you can connect that way. Or you can just do one-on-one, 2-player with one Switch, it looked like. I want to make a comment, and I don't want to capture hate for this, but I just couldn't help but notice it. The graphics, I've played Splatoon. I own Splatoon. My kids love Splatoon.
Trash.
No, it's a fun game.
No, the graphics.
But the graphics did not look better. They might look worse than just Splatoon 1 on my Wii U. I was looking at it. It looked very aliased. It looked jaggy. It looked it looked framey and
Jaffer. It was super Jaffered.
It
Make
did
a word sound.
Yeah.
And I'm not
janky frame rates, baby.
And I'm not referring to just like streaming often has some compression that can make games look a little worse. I was looking past that at like the actual like frame corners,
digital souls of
not the frame corners, but pixel corners. I mean to say there is a lot of pixel corners. That's not something that came in through the stream. That's not compression. That's happening in game, and that made me worried that a game on the Switch is looking worse than my Wii U version.
They're not, but they should be expected. It's just that's going to be everything that they put out.
Yeah, they mentioned that just like the first Splatoon, after they release this Splatoon, comes out in the summer, they said, that after they release this, there'll be many more updates and patches. If you play the first Splatoon, there was a lot of like new content put out after the fact, and they'll have in-game events. So this is becoming a big thing, right, for video games, having these in-game events.
Yeah.
Overwatch has made a big deal out of in-game events, and Splatoon is going to carry that on. Next, they showed Super Mario Odyssey.
It looks super tight, dude.
This was the definitely the highlight for me.
They should have just done a presentation on Super Mario Odyssey.
And just left it alone. $150 gets you this new crappy system and Super Mario Odyssey. Sell like hotcakes, dude.
Yeah.
I'd buy 9 of them.
So the Super Mario Odyssey game, it looks very much it has the soul, the spirit of Super Mario 64.
Sandbox world.
Yeah, he actually said it's our first sandbox world since doing Mario 64 and Sunshine. Yes! So I imagine what he really means by that is there's going to be a hub world. Like if you remember Mario 64, there was the castle, and then from the castle castle, you'd find other worlds to go to, which I love. I love that system.
Yep.
And I'd like a lot more of that.
Yep.
It was interesting that they sort of alluded to that Mario is going to an all-new world. This isn't... They didn't say this directly, but they kind of implied this isn't the Mushroom Kingdom. Yeah. And you'll recognize there's certain parts of the game that looked like...
New York, Tokyo.
Yeah, it just looked like real world, right?
Well, he says that they're out of the Mushroom world.
Yeah, so I find that to be an interesting thing. I wonder if they might even... Well, no, they probably wanted to mention that. Comes out 2017 holiday.
Hat character. Don't forget the little googly
hat
head
character.
Man.
They didn't explain this too much. He said that the hat character will utilize the Switch controllers in a way that only they can be used.
Yep.
And he was wearing the hat and it had eyes on it. And when he spoke, he said, "Did you recognize the eyes?" And that made me think, "Oh, did I miss that Mario's hat had eyes?" But when they showed footage again, they didn't have eyes. So I was like, maybe he's not wearing the hat yet?
Looks like eyes from something else, I think is what
Yoshi's
he was referring
eyes.
to. Yeah.
Yoshi's
eyes?
Okay. So we haven't abused Yoshi enough. We're going to rip his eyes out and sew them onto Mario's hat.
Soon they're going to have Yoshi shoes. Peach is going to have a new Yoshi handbag.
Check out these Yoshi skins and shoes I got.
Again,
dinosaur.
Again, there was times in that game and what they showed that the graphics looked superb. There was times when the graphics looked a little subpar. It was not consistent, maybe because it's still being developed, but if it comes out in 2017, it's got to be pretty far in development, right? I did have a beautiful art style. So I can't complain about the art style.
Yeah, you're right there.
Monolith Soft has Xenoblade 2 coming out. None of the guys here at this podcast care about it. I don't play Xenoblade myself. I know it's a big game. I know a lot of people like it.
8.
So be happy that you're getting another one.
Fire Emblem?
Yeah, again, nobody here plays it, but I know there's big Fire Emblem fans, so be happy, Fire Emblem fans. You're getting a game. They did not give a date for it, probably not 2017. That's probably a 2018 game, since they didn't give a date. They said there's 80 games in development for the Switch. I don't think that's a very big number when you think about it. I mean, when you're developing for a console, you can be developing for up to 3 years. So he's saying that right now, for the next 3 years, there's 80 games planned from all publishers, and there's a lot of trash heap publishers out there. So that wasn't a very great number to me. That wasn't an impressive number.
Again, royally meh.
Right. In that case, I didn't. But now then what they did is they kind of just started switching between developers quickly.
Yeah, so quickly, what are your favorite games that you saw out of this list that we concocted?
Well,
basically, it was just a scramble to recognize as many titles as we could and write them down.
Well, I saw in a snippet video the Telltale Minecraft game is coming to the Switch, and that's a fun game. My kids love it. I play with them. It's a Telltale game, just like all Telltale games, but Minecraft. And the actual Minecraft game was in a little snippet video. Street Fighter 2?
Yeah, I will destroy you.
Yeah. They're making a big deal that Skyrim is coming to the Switch, but Chris, as a PC guy, as a guy that Skyrim is supposed to appeal to, how does that make you feel?
Angry.
No, it just makes me think, welcome to 2011.
Right. Like it's...
I mean, to be fair to Nintendo, Bethesda hasn't even announced really anything about the next Elder Scrolls, so...
Maybe other things are coming too.
Skyrim is kind of the latest and greatest for Elder Scrolls, not counting ESO.
Yeah. And from what we saw, did the Skyrim graphics look comparable to the remaster?
Kind of, it was hard to tell because they didn't show anything for very long.
Okay.
So I think we'll have to wait until we see a little bit more. I'm sure somebody will do a good side-by-side comparison.
Yeah. There's also seemed to be some glitches happening when Suda51 came out and tried to announce a new Travis Touchdown game. What's the name of that game series?
No clue.
No More Heroes? I think it's called No More Heroes.
No More Cares to Give.
No More Cares to Give. Sonic game was in there. They showed a very
that
short
looks
clip.
Fun to me. I have a soft spot in my heart for Sonic.
I was hoping that they'd come out and announce a new Mario Kart game that's releasing with the console. They did not do that. They didn't really ever expound on a new Mario Kart game.
Yeah, and that's weird to me.
It appeared
in even a Mario Party.
Yeah, there was a clip in one of their big videos that was showing off a bunch of different clips.
Yeah.
But no real explanation. No Mario Party, like you said. I didn't notice any Mario Party anywhere.
I didn't see any jumping into the dice block above your head.
Right,
NBA 2K18, son. Gonna shoot Jays, like shoot actual jumpers
now,
and miss.
You work with youth. Can you imagine your youth having a couple of Switches and playing the NBA 2K18 games in local wireless multiplayer?
Not really. they would play once. What's the Super Smash Brothers? Once Super Smash Brothers comes out for the Switch, I'll have to buy 6 of these, and I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it's 5 of them to eat, 1 to play.
I mean, nothing on there. I mean, maybe the Dragon Ball Z stuff, but a lot of the things like NBA 2K18, that's kind of fun, but not a lot of people are sports fans, But whatever.
Yeah. We wrapped it all up with the Zelda Breath of the Wild, a new trailer, showed off some story content. I'm really looking forward to the new Zelda game. It's the first time I've been looking forward to a Zelda game since Twilight Princess, honestly. I played them all, but I always played them out of obligation, not out of passion. But this one looks really, really good, and the big reveal comes out as a launch game with the console March 3rd.
Really well done.
Yeah.
You get that and Mario, man. I mean, in this year, like that's enough to say, okay, I could justify paying $300 for this.
Let's
300 bills.
Let's end this similar to the way we end some of our other videos, which is, but I'm gonna change it up. Is this something?
No Kirby.
Is this something you're thinking about buying day one?
No.
Is this something? Well, why don't you hear all the options, Chris? Is this something that you will buy if it drops down in price by $100? Or is this something you're never gonna buy?
All right, go ahead, Chris.
Nope. Nope. I heard the
no.
notes.
I probably won't. Well, but I'll probably, I don't know, maybe play it at somebody else's house. I never leave my house, so.
Yeah. If they had made a new Metroid, if they had made a new Samus game, I would have bought it.
Okay, but at this point, you have no plans?
No. I'm not going to even touch this because I know you'll buy it. So I'll play it at your house.
I am not going to let you play my Switch.
Well, then you're going to get a really uninteresting podcast.
Okay. So I think I plan on buying it.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm interested in playing the new Zelda game. I'm interested in playing the new Mario game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I might buy it in 2018 when the Mario game is officially out.
Having daughters, Nintendo puts out good multiplayer games.
And Garrett will buy this for sure. This 1,000% makes sense to me if you have kids. I would be looking at that and going, I can't wait that, the Splatoon game is a perfect game. It's fun, it's gun shooting stuff, but it's not death and it's not exposure of blood and violence to your kids already. I think that's a great game for your children. It only makes sense to me that parents of children 10 and under and youth pastors buy this game. Right. That's the only target audience I could think. And drunk college guys.
Yeah. Who wanna smash? Is that what they've been talking about when they talk about smashing?
No, I just mean shoot each other and they're drunk and it's like, hey, let's draw or something. I don't know. And then goes through the guy's face. But
college guys are always talking about smashing, right?
Yeah.
They mean Smash Brothers, right?
As far as I know.
Yeah, they're playing. Okay.
So I don't know. I won't buy it till 2018.
Okay, so I mean, you got a mixed reaction here. I'm into it, but I'm a console gamer. Chris is not sold at all. He was not sold during watching that video. Josh saw some virtues in it, but I don't think he planned on buying it. Let me do this to finish the video. This is the end. What would it take, Chris, for you to change your mind on the Switch?
Pay you $300.
If you sent me one for free, I'd probably play it. It just doesn't appeal to me. But I'm kind of not the demographic anyway. I don't. I'm not that big a fan of Nintendo's IPs.
But what if they had PC games you like to be on the go?
But they can't compete hardware wise, and I'm not on the go in general. Okay. So, I mean, I don't even have a laptop.
What if it had a bigger battery?
You'd make fun of it less.
I make fun of everything.
Okay, same question to you, Josh. What would it take?
If Mario came out with the system, I'd probably consider buying it right away. Unlike Chris,
maybe a holiday bundle, but you would want it at the same price.
If it came out at $300 right straight away with Mario and with Zelda, I would buy those things because Mario 64 is still my favorite game of all time above anything else. So it would hit me straight in the nostalgic feels, and I would have to buy it out of obligation.
Okay. Well, Nintendo, I'm buying your console, so 1 out of 3 is mediocre.
Is better than what you probably sell anyway.
I'll keep saving for my Vive.
All right. Well, take us out, Chris.
Check it out.